Paradigm shift.
An educational comedy.
It's not a cause, not a movement.
It's not a social group you can slap a label onto.
It's an idea. It's an intention.
It's an intuition.
A mindset in which reality can be explored.
Through genuine expression,
Discernment.
critical thinking, and imagination.
To look inward upon ourselves.
To better understand the external world around us.
And yes,
Few egos are bound to be bruised.
With our silly, zany, politically incorrect,
George Carlin built style of going about things.
real and raw honesty.
which invites you to be
to the fullest.
Hello everybody, a Facebook video was shared with me by Chris DePole, and it's very interesting because this guy's up there, white guy, talking about his experience where a black guy confronted him about white privilege. Well, the way this whole thing went isn't the way anyone would expect it to go, not anyone on any side of the issue. So regardless of what side of the issue you're on, you're going to find this to be very interesting, and I'm going to screen share and play it for you.
Hey there, I don't know what's going on lately, but I've had some amazing interactions with human beings where my life has been changed, and maybe even theirs has too. I gotta shoot this real quick because I'm ready to rant, and I hope that whatever I said to this guy, because it seemed to have an impact, might have an impact on somebody watching this video too. I was just running some errands. I pulled up to the bank. Excuse my language. I'm going to try not to cuss at all, but I'm pretty fired up. I was pulling up to the bank, and I'm driving one of my favorite cars. It's an Audi R8. Super cool car. My dream car, honestly. And I pull up. I hop out. So I go in the bank, and this guy's kind of walking by. And he looks at me. He goes, F you and your white privilege. And he goes, F and white people. So I look at him, and I don't get angry. I look at this as an opportunity. Like, this is a guy that's obviously got some sort of pain in his life. Something's going on either currently or has gone on that caused him to have that reaction, not having any idea who I am, what I'm about, what's going on. He just sees me hopping out of a fancy car. So I walk up to him, and I go, yeah, I got some white privilege. You want to hear about it? And he goes, yeah, tell me. And you got to imagine, by the way, he's like a 6'4", 6'5" black guy, like a big dude. So I get up in his face a little bit. I go, yeah, I have the kind of white privilege to where my dad and my mom split up when I was about 2.5 years old. And he leaves. I don't see him for almost 30 years until I go look him up. And I spent my entire childhood, young adult, and most of my adulthood wondering what I did wrong as a kid that caused my dad not to come around anymore. And I lived without a father figure for a really long time. So yeah, I got that kind of white privilege. I also have the kind of white privilege where I don't have any formal education after a high school diploma. So yeah, I got that kind of white privilege too. I said, oh yeah, let me tell you, my half-brother's white privilege. Same mom, different dad. The stepdad that ended up raising me most of my childhood ended up being an alcohol abusive guy. Caused my brother, in my brother's world, to go run away, join a gang, in and out of prison dozens of times, living mostly on the streets, getting shot in the middle of the freaking street, partially paralyzing his legs. Some further complications lead him to have an amputated leg and a prosthetic like right now. That's the kind of white privilege I have. Sound familiar at all? And he's literally just staring at me, and he goes, my dad left too when I was a young age. I go, I bet there's a lot of us out there like that. I said, but your history, your past, does not determine your future. Nothing that's ever happened in your future will dictate what's going to happen to you today or tomorrow. You need to hang around with people that don't have a common past as you, but has a common future as you. So let me ask you a question. You walk around mostly with a chip on your shoulder, mostly angry, because obviously you were angry a minute ago when you just told me to F off. And you said, yeah. I said, I bet you access anger pretty easily. He goes, yeah. I go, you know why? Because we were lied to. Me too. Me too. I had got the same lie as you. I was told that all I had to do was be successful, get the hot wife, get the money in the account, get a cool car, get a great job, whatever it was, then I'll be happy. And got a lot of people run around chasing happiness. And you know what I found out? Happiness comes first. Because I was happy when I had nothing. I figured out a way to have happiness when I had nothing. And you know why? because I realized that the universe doesn't owe me a freaking thing. There's not one, I don't matter at all. And we all don't matter equally. The universe doesn't owe me anything. So because I have that belief, I woke up every day knowing I owe the universe everything. I owe the people around me the absolute best me. That's how I contribute. And that's how you become successful. You have the happiness and the willingness to show gratitude and give to other people, not sling hate at a stranger just because they have a nice car. That's not going to get you anywhere. I said, what are you searching for right now? And he said, honestly, I'm looking for a job. I said, how do you pay your bills right now? And he goes, I get checks, you know. I go, from the government? And he goes, yeah, from the government. I go, the government's not paying you that. He goes, bullshit, you know, government's paying you that. I go, no, it's not. I go, you know where the money's coming from? It's coming from the Mexican dude that was just working on a job site I was at, who is here legally paying taxes so he can send money back to his family. That's who's paying your rent. It's the 40-year-old nurse working a double shift, taking a nap between shifts so she can be on point to help the people in the waiting room that she's got to deliver some bad news to. That's who's paying your rent. It's coming from a 22-year-old single mom with 2 kids working double jobs so she can put food on the table, paying her taxes, paying her fair share to pay your rent. How does that make you feel? That's who's paying your freaking rent. And I needed him to understand really how the world works. There is no free rides out there. There's no money, just doesn't come out of the sky, doesn't just come from you. It comes from everybody else. So if you're accepting that money, just know where it's coming from. Don't lie to yourself. See, people like this guy have been lying to himself for way too long, giving himself a BS story that the world owes him something. He's not going to be anything in the future because he had a rough past, and it's all a bunch of BS. And yet we do that, and the people around ourselves, people around us, allow us to do that too. And I wasn't going to be that guy for him right now, right then, just a few minutes ago. I wasn't going to let him live that lie anymore. It is a lie, you guys. It is a lie. We all have the equal ability to be happy. Doesn't matter what's going on around us. We have the equal ability to discern what's happening to us, give it its unique meaning that causes happiness or causes growth to do something awesome in the future. That's what I wanted for this man. And I said, by the way, what kind of job are you looking for? You know, we started talking about what he's looking for. And he goes, a management job. I said, what makes you think that you deserve a management job? What about a regular job? He goes, I want to be a manager. I go, cool. Let me test you real quick. How many management jobs have you had in the past? He goes, well, no, but I've been an assistant manager before. I said, good. That's awesome. That's awesome. It's truly awesome. I said, but you never had a management job before. He goes, no. I said, well, what makes you think you deserve one? He starts giving me the line. I go, hold on a second. I go, let me test you again. How many books have you read on management in the last week, month, 6 months, year? I said, 0. I said, okay. How many seminars have you been to? How many classes have you taken? How many webinars have you looked up online about management skills or leading people or running a business? And he admitted he had been to 0. I said, you don't have a management job because you don't have the management skills. Stop lying to yourself that you deserve a management job if you don't have the skills. I said, go get a job, any job. Start getting that momentum. Start getting that satisfaction of earning a paycheck on your own, getting up with a purpose. I said, why you get that income coming in? Then you go buy those books. Then you go to those seminars. Then you go to those webinars. Then you impress your boss. Then you work your way to a management job. Then when you earn that management job, it's going to make you feel so good. So right now, don't go look for a management job. If you don't got those management skills, don't lie to yourself. Don't have the 40-year-old nurse pay your rent. Don't have the immigrant. Don't have the 22-year-old single mom pay your rent. You pay your rents. You earn your fair share, and then you get to walk around with some pride. Doesn't matter what kind of job you have. You take care of your business. The minute he had a couple of kids, I go, be a leader for those boys. Show them what a man is like. Don't do what your dad did to you. Don't use that as an excuse. I go, if you're going to blame your dad for all the shitty things that happened in your life, then you also got to blame him for all the good things too. You got to blame him for teaching you to be independent, right? You got to blame him for the good things. You got to blame something for the bad stuff. You can't stop there. You also got to blame those pains or those people that dissed you in life for all the good things too that have happened in your life, because they earn that blame too. So at that point in time, I'm waking up in this down. I'll just tell you this. We ended up hugging. Okay? He went from telling me to F off to us hugging. And then I tell him what? I said, I'm not going to give you anything. I'm not going to give you any money. I'm not going to give you any other advice. I said, I'm going to give you my phone number. And you can call me. If you need to know what books to read, you ask me. If you need to know how to interview for a job, you ask me. I'm not giving you that today. You're going to have to follow up with me, and we'll see what happens. I was changed by that interaction. It reminds me of a lot of things in life that that just come out sometimes, and yet we kind of just skirt through life. So I'm gonna go start my Friday now, and if this video impacted you in any way, I sincerely hope it did. I'm sorry for getting upset and firing off a couple cuss words, but I just want you to know that we all don't matter, and all we owe the world is our best selves. Hopefully that man can find his best self, and I bet the world will be better for it. So have a good weekend. See ya. Bye.
I want to comment on what he was saying. Some things I personally would have phrased differently. Like, I don't think we all don't matter. I think we all matter equally. And, we all tend to get addicted to that sense of victimization, right? So he's that victimization to feel justified. Like when people identify with their diseases and disorders and dysfunctional situations so much that they literally identify as it, like, oh, I'm a victim of this, I'm a victim of that. Yep, that's me. And when you identify with a problem that you're having, it makes it really, really, really hard to help a person when they are identifying with it and as it. Because if they form that as their identity, then to remove their problem feels like annihilation. Like, oh my God, someone's trying to kill me. Someone's trying to annihilate me. They're trying to remove my problem, and I am my problem after all. Now, like he said, that's all just bullshit excuses. But, again, I wouldn't have phrased it as we all don't matter equally. I mean, yes, we owe the universe and the world and whomever owes us jack shit, like he said, and we owe creation our very existence. If anything, we owe the world. The world doesn't owe us. So, enough of this entitlement bullshit. Let's take some personal responsibility. I also wanted to add that, of course, some people watching this who, go in deep into geopolitics and economics and things like that are going to be tempted, including myself, to point out certain, like he was talking about lies, no matter how much truth we know, there's still some lies we're always falling for. And so, I think he was falling under some old economic paradigms and things like that. I could go on and on and on and on into that, but my intention here is not to debate with him about what I think he got wrong. My intention here is to agree with him about what I think he got right, because, that's what unity is. You know what I mean? But for the moment, I hope it's left you all with something to think about. Because, we don't need to be addicted to victimization. We don't need to create our future based on a dysfunctional past. We can use that frontal lobe we got up here that separates us from the doggies and the kitties and the other animals in the woods and go, I think I want to make some positive change here. I think I want to see things in terms of opportunity instead of burden. And I think I want to deal with my demons and face my shit and come clean with myself and deprogram my mental malware and become a better person, because, like the man said, you being the best you that you can be is what you owe the world. And the world doesn't owe you jack, but you owe yourself being kinder to yourself and not stressing yourself the fuck out just because that's what you were taught to do. Use the frontal lobe, and I'm going to put it like this: if you've been taught to think that you have to stab yourself in the fork, in the leg with a fork, like that, yeah, I know that looks like something else, you sick bastards. Yeah, I know, you watch them there, you like that. Oh yeah, you like that, huh? But anyway, stabbing yourself in the leg with a fork, and you're like, oh my God, how do I stop stabbing myself in the leg with a fork? The answer is you just stop. It's kind of like, how do I stop running around the block endlessly? Oh, I'm getting so tired. How do I stop stressing myself? By stopping. Like that running you're doing, like literally just like stop doing that. Like sit down on the ground and like don't move. But how do I do that? It's so hard. No, it's not. Just make the fucking choice. Yes, I know justification and victimhood is so addicting. You can shake your fist and go, I'm the victim, you owe me. And as true as your pain and suffering and circumstances are, if you let them define you, that's not the fault of your circumstances and your suffering. That's the fault of you making an unwise choice. So let's exit the blame game. Let's be easier on ourselves. Let's be easier on others. Let's drop all this hate and bigotry fucking bullshit. Because you know what? The only privilege there is top 1% privilege. And the vast majority of the human race isn't in that. And even though, yes, probably the majority of that top 1% is white, you know, there's black people and Asians and all sorts of stuff up in the 1% too. And the white 1%, what's that got to do with me? You know what I mean? I didn't grow up in a fucking mansion with a silver spoon in my mouth and a golden dick up my ass. You know what I mean? So think about these things. Think about how being a kinder, more compassionate person is better than saying, fuck all the white people. Yeah, shit. Fucking white people. Fucking white privilege. Yeah, let's drop the fucking hate, guys, okay? So, peace out.
There you go, that's a new one. Where'd you learn that one in Social Human Studies 101? Right next to the giant, I don't know, wild boar I couldn't see who said there's no such thing as fat chicks! Guess what? If you think there aren't, you are one, okay? Did he just make a fat joke? Yeah, I did. You know, it's okay, because I got some here, so screw you. I have a faggot pass and a fat pass today.